Hi there guys, it's Joey, welcome back. This is this week's Ogham reading for Miss Sharon A. So I am still doing the free Ogham readings, one a week, as a thank you. We're giving back to the community for the subscribers, to say thank you for the subscriptions and for people who've been there for me. The Ogham readings are on offer hopefully every week. It's not going to be every week in some cases because of things getting in the way. The festive season particularly this last couple of weeks. So if you are interested, pop your name down below and say whether or not you're happy for it to be a public video or not. I still have everybody's name who has asked for a reading so far, and we will get through them. I promise we will get through them. So, as usual, this is my way of giving back. It's my way of saying thank you. It's also to help me connect to the Ogham on a divinational level. I'm by no means an expert on them. I've had some beautiful experiences with the Ogham, and I like to keep embracing with that energy, keep interacting, and do divinational readings of them. So there are 7. 3 staves, 4 cards. I like to have the mix. It just felt right to do the mix, particularly as the cards have the newer Ogham, which the older ones do not. So it's nice to mix that up, I think. I go with the number 7. It's sort of traditional for me to go with the number 7. I've just always felt, since I first started reading tarot, about pulling 7 cards. It's just what I intuitively did and have stuck with it. It sort of moves from the past into the present into the future, showing the cycles and how everything interlinks. 7 has the energy of teacher and pupil in one as well, which I think is really interesting, because at some point in our lives we are both. Possibly at all points during our life we are both. We always have something to learn and something to give to others. So for Miss Sharon, the reading starts off, and we're in that sort of the past here, or the immediate past, or the source of the current ongoing situation. So this is Hawthorne Hueth, and depending on the interpretation, the personal interpretation of this Ogham, some people see it as a wholly difficult Ogham, and some people really don't like it. Me personally, I really like Hawthorne. It is a Ogham of the Morrigan, but I understand in terms of divination why people find this a difficult one, because it's basically challenges, obstacles, complications. It can be thorns in the heart type complications and obstacles, real heart-wrenching difficulties. It may mean simply that you've had to completely restrain yourself because of a certain situation, or a certain situation has left you feeling closed in, surrounded, sort of tight around the chest. That's an image I just got as I was thinking about the card. Very constrained. So it may be that you have to be restrained as a result of a situation, or a situation is forcing restraint upon you in certain areas. Let's see. Sometimes there is an element of love and relationships attached to Hawthorne because of the history of it. I think it was the flowers being utilised in weddings. It can also talk a little bit about the need to protect yourself, and quite frequently this is a tree which is related to the Fey realm as well, on another sort of tie-in with the Morrigan energy. And it can be talking of a need to protect yourself against a sort of frivolity and careless abandon that comes with Fey energy. So it's sort of talking about the fact that you need to be cautious and you need to be careful, and it's a very sort of steadfast need of protection in terms of magical awareness anyway. I personally feel in this reading this is more about obstacle, judging by the following Ogham, which is Rue or Elder reversed, which we're going to talk about in a sec. But I feel that, you know, this has been a difficult time. It's been trying. It may have been trying on a relationship. It may have been trying on your relationship with yourself. I get this really tight feeling of constraint around the heart, this sort of ongoing need to overcome and struggle that is at the centre of the problem right now. Rue or Elder reversed is an interesting one because some people argue you cannot reverse it, and some people give a reverse meaning. So in general terms, Elder is like the death card in tarot, the end of one cycle, death, birth and rebirth, the beginnings and ends of things. It's very interesting for it to come up in this reading, obviously, because this reading is just before the end of one major cycle, 2014, entering into 2015. And it can be about the need to let go of what was in order to move forward. It could well be marking the fact that the energies of the end of the year need to be embraced in this circumstance. That real purification process that can come with the end of the year needs to be engaged with. And I'm just going to have a feel of the next Ogham a moment. Okay, so the next Ogham is quartz or apple in reverse. It's a real need to take time to yourself to rest and heal. There's a lot of apple imagery within Celtic lore. There is the golden apples of the sun, which were able to heal any sickness tied to the sun god Lu. And I know that Sharon follows a solar female goddess. And I'm getting a sense of interacting with the solar energies in terms of healing here in the immediate present. There is no need to be scorched or believe yourself to be scorched by the energy of the sun, but instead be still and calm and take the gentle winter sunlight into your soul and allow it to heal you. There you go. That's messages. That's not me. That's Sulis, I think. Ooh, I've never had that happen in a reading before. That's amazing. It can also indicate a choice. You cannot pursue a close relationship properly if there are others getting in the way. You cannot live several places at once. You cannot split all your energy, basically. It's sort of when your energy is going in 100 different directions and you can't focus on what needs to be done, and you're worrying about 8 million things, and it's not healthy in terms of a mental process. And I think what it is here is like worry and stressing about every nuance, every possible thing that could go wrong from a certain situation, rather than reining that over worrying mind in and allowing yourself to be healed. And I think there's definitely the energy of Sulis is right there if you need her, and to embrace the healing side of things, and just try and rein your worrying mind in a little bit within the current position. And it's followed by Willow as well, and as far as I'm concerned, Willow is pure healing. Sail or Willow. It has a feminine sort of energy to it, it definitely does. It can be tied with psychic powers and intuition and energy and magic and things of a very lunar. And it's funny because I picked Rainbow Moonstone to place by the side of your reading, and it's right by the card as well. So very much about lunar female energy. For me, it is the healing Ogham, and that's not something that you see in a lot of interpretations of Ogham. Other people are like, oh, it's more about like the moon and psychic senses and things of that nature. Now, it may well be lunar energies coming in to counterbalance and balance the solar energies of the previous card. You know, you have to embrace both sides to balance yourself. You have to embrace the energies of a lunar aspect as well as a solar aspect. So whilst working with healing via Sulis or via solar energy and being calm and bringing everything in, it's also really important to counterbalance that with water magic, lunar magic, cleansing purification processes, really great with water. Cycles, of course, again come into it because of the lunar cycles and things. I'm just having a feel of the energy around this, because for me, Willow is healing. Willow is essentially healing. I get this very strong visualization that if you take in solar energy into yourself and you take in lunar energy into yourself, those are the energies that you need to work with in order to heal the stuff that's gone on, the big problematic. It's about finding a sense of balance between male and female, and that might be in the physical world as well as in the spiritual world. But there's very much about a sense of balancing day and night, not taking on too much, making sure you get enough sleep, not allowing all the stress of your mind to stop you sleeping, maybe coming into this here a little bit. But it's definitely a time for balancing yourself and allowing that balance to flow through into healing. And it's actually a lesson, it's a huge lesson because of what's next, which is Phagos or Beach. Phagos or Beach is all about learning, and I think, judging by the next three, it indicates that this is actually, this healing is a necessary component in order for you to learn to look after yourself, in terms of instead of looking outward, look inward a little. It could be about learning to reconnect to yourself, to your purpose, perhaps even your path. It may be a written thing. I mean, quite frequently Phagos is associated with the written word, books, reading, things of that nature. But for me, it feels like a spiritual guide, a new spiritual guide coming in through the process of healing. A new craft, perhaps. New work, new method of work, new calling, advocation. Wisdom is another one. You will be able to see the wisdom of the choices you have made. This healing is basically a huge lesson, and that's what I'm getting, right? You know, more than changing career or anything like that, I don't feel that. I feel that this is the lesson. This is the thing that you need to teach yourself in order to grow and go forward. This balance between solar and lunar, and I wonder if you're getting a new guide, a new spirit guide, a new energy coming through, and it's going to be lunar in nature, because you have a strong solar association already, and I have a feeling you may need to be seeking out a lunar guide of some kind to balance. Yeah, I'm getting shivers, that's right. Okay, that feels right to me. In order for you to go forward, in order for you to re-embrace your path. And the next card is Honeysuckle. Honeysuckle is, again, is one of the, in fact, your final three are all the new Ogham. Take of that what you will. Okay, Uliand is the centre of the labyrinth. Uliand being honeysuckle. The secret, the hidden secret. With its guidance, you will be able to distinguish what is false from what is true. What is of worth and usefulness on your spiritual journey, helping you find your way to the centre of the labyrinth. Yeah, I think new spiritual guide is, yeah, because this is going to enable you to do this. So that lesson, that opening yourself up, that balancing of lunar and solar deities is going to help you to enrich and encourage and really come into your own, especially within terms of your spiritual being. Find your way back into the labyrinth, find your way into unravelling them, whatever it is that you feel you need to be seeking. And more, the sea is at the end, and that is the most lunar card I can think of to fully sort of bring it to a conclusion, a future tense, you know, the hidden depths, the unknown, the unknowable. I talk about spirituality in terms of ocean imagery quite a lot, that spirituality is a little bit like seeing light move over the waves. You get these flashes of insight, these flashes of illumination, particularly if that was by moonlight, which is a beautiful wave of thinking about it, and you get these beautiful glimpses and glitters of light moving across, but there's all this hidden depth and of well, and it's emotional and spiritual, of unknowable spiritual journeying, pathworking, emotions, questions, information, and it's tied to the lunar in terms of the tides as well, and it can be tied to the idea of a journey. That can be a physical journey in some circumstances, but given the rest of the reading, I'm going to say a deep spiritual journey of some kind. So there you go. that is this week's Ogham reading for Miss Sharon A. I hope it was helpful, and many blessings.